So recently I got tired of eating my beans just like that, or using it to make porridge beans, making akara or kose or bean balls, or even using it to make moi moi. So I decided to do something spectacular with my beans. That is using my beans to make beans cake. So I will tell you how I made this. So I started by measuring out 40 grams of granulated sugar in my bowl, and to that I added 20 grams of vegetable oil and 30 grams of margarine. You can also use butter. Then to that I added 1 over 8 teaspoon of salt. Then I set that aside. Next I broke 65 grams of whole egg. So for this egg I separated the egg yolk from the albumen. I kept the egg white or the albumen aside, and then added the egg yolk into the first mixture that I have. Now, once I'm done with that, I went ahead and start creaming everything together in this mixture while I set the egg white aside. So after creaming this for some time, I went ahead and added half teaspoon of white vinegar. Beans blotting tendency, so this white vinegar will help to reduce the blotting tendency of the beans. Then after adding the white vinegar, I went ahead to cream everything thoroughly. Also, the white vinegar will help to make the beans or keep the beans cake moist and soft. Now the next thing I did was to add my beans flour. Okay, I added about 50 grams of beans flour. So there are different ways you can make beans flour. You can peel it and then sun dry it and blend, or you can just wash it and then sun dry it and blend it with the skin and everything, so it also works out fine. But this particular one I blended with the skin, I didn't peel it. So after blending, or you can also kind of filter it or sieve it. After adding the beans flour, the next thing you're going to add is your all-purpose flour. So I added 30 grams of all-purpose flour and then mixed everything or whisked everything thoroughly, okay, as you can see in the video. Next I added 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, after adding the baking powder as well, I mixed everything to combine thoroughly. Alright, to also add more moisture and also add more flavor and also boost the quality of our cake, I also went ahead to add about 25 grams of liquid milk. This liquid milk will also make the cake to be light and moist. So at this point I kept my batter aside, then went ahead to whip my egg white. So I whipped this egg white till stiff peak. So while whipping the egg white, I added about a pinch of cream of tartar to help the egg white to get to a perfect peak. Once my egg white was set, I added it into the already made batter, or the batter I whipped or creamed earlier. So I had to fold in the whipped egg white into the batter, just as you see in the video. You guys, once my batter was ready, I greased my 5 inches round pan and also place a baking paper at the base, then transfer the cake batter into the pan, and I was ready to bake. Then I had to bake this in my preheated oven at 150 degrees C for 35 minutes. A skewer inserted into the cake must come out clean. My cake was ready and I transferred on my cooling rack and allowed the cake to cool down completely. Once my cake was completely cooled, I wrapped it up because I want this cake to be moist while I enjoy it. I wrapped it up, and once it has stayed for up to an hour or two, I unwrapped the cake, sliced the cake, and enjoyed this cake. Honestly, so if you are tired of using your beans to be making moi moi, making akara, or eating it just like that, or making porridge or any other thing, just try this recipe and I know you're going to love it. Like, talking about the taste, this tasted amazing. Like, if you baked it, you will love it. You can enjoy this cake as a dessert, or you can enjoy it with your breakfast pap or your beverage. I hope you will try this recipe. I wait your comments in the comment section.